What's going on in Parliament? I have no idea. Somebody has raided Matt Hancock's stationery cupboard and found his supply of super glue. And oddly for Parliament, it's not a sniffing opportunity. It's a gluing opportunity, and people were glued around the Speaker's chair in the middle of the week. And the question I would like to ask is, why did nobody stop them? Where was security? It takes a bit of time to superglue yourself. So where was security? And if security is so lax in the mother of all parliaments, how can we possibly imagine that our politicians are safe? The only thing we heard from the Speaker is that other tours had been abandoned because the security forces were forced to unglue the people who had gathered around the Speaker's chair, these climate activists. And, to a certain extent, I take my hat off to them if it weren't superglued to my head. I'm having a dreadful problem with malapropisms today. A few minutes ago, I made a little video and suggested that Mr. Medvedev was at President Putin's funeral. Well, that may have been wishful thinking or a Freudian slip or simply a time travel error. But no, Mr. Medvedev was at Mr. Gorbachev's funeral, and Mr. Putin should have been there and wasn't. Mr. Putin was neither present as a living being nor as a dead being at this funeral. Mr. Putin was completely absent. Let me make that completely clear. So that's a retraction about Mr. Putin. But sadly, I think these glued together people would have taken longer to retract. And but where did they get the glue from? You can imagine, can't you? We're raiding Mr. Hancock's stationery cupboard. Gina, can I have the super glue? Oh, you found it. You're sort of glued to a shelf. Matt, Gina's glued herself to a shelf. Don't worry. I'm coming to the rescue with a pencil sharpener. Ooh, Gina. Ooh, let's apply something to that, shall we? I've got a very nicely well prepared HB here. Here's one I made earlier.